Hey Antonio, I want to keep layers. Hey Antonio, I want to keep broilers. Hey Antonio, why did you stop keeping kienyeji chicken? Now you are more into layers. I'm here today to compare and contrast for you between layers, broilers and kienyeji. Which is the best type of chicken business to do? My name is Antonio Innocent Mdongi, a poultry expert up to master's level. And in this channel, we empower you, give you a success story a week, give you a lesson a week. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, kindly hit the subscribe button, join the family. Between improved kienyeji birds or the indigenous birds, broiler chicken farming and layers chicken farming, which is the best? By the end of the video, you'll be able to know which is the best for you, okay? What determines profitability of a venture is where you are doing it and how you are doing it. Those two things. A broiler chicken farm can be so profitable compared to a layer chicken farm. And a layer chicken farm can be so profitable compared to a kienyeji chicken farm. And the opposite is true. So what determines the profitability of either venture is your strategy, your position, and how to do it. For example, if you are in Somalia, what is the main market? The main market in Somalia is for meat and eggs. That is the broiler meat and layer chicken eggs. The market for kienyeji chicken or indigenous chicken is very low, quote unquote, compared to Kenya. Let's come back home in Kenya or even in Uganda. There are communities that don't thrive so much in consumption of chicken meat. This one automatically rules out the profitability of a kienyeji chicken farm for meat and the profitability of a broiler chicken farm. That's the reason why I talk of where you're doing it is most important, and that's what determines your profitability. If you want to start a broiler chicken farm, it's very important that you position yourself close to urban centers. When you have an urban center near you, you have a hospital near you, you have a school near you, and most consumers, or the largest consumers, are hotels. So the number of hotels close to you in an urban setup is higher than the number of hotels close to you in a rural setup. And therefore, if you set up a broiler farm strategically near a town, then the profitability of a broiler chicken farm becomes far much higher compared to a kienyeji farm or an indigenous chicken farm. It is only a layer chicken business that cuts across. It cuts across the rural setup, urban setup, different countries. Somalia, there's a high egg consumption rate. Kenya, there's a high egg consumption rate. Ghana, there's a high egg consumption rate, basically. And therefore, then how do you make sure that your layer chicken farm is far much profitable or makes more money compared to your competitor who is doing broilers? Also, where you keep the chicken determines. You cannot do a layers chicken farm in a structure that is not environmentally controlled, in a setup, let's say at the slopes of a mountain or at very high altitude. It is very cold, you know, and the lower the temperature, the lower the production. The lower the temperature, the need for a more sophisticated chicken structure. The more sophisticated the chicken structure, then the higher the cost of production. Profit equals to cost minus output. So we try to cut our costs right from feed, structures, labor, mortality, so that we can be in competition with others. So if you want to have a profitable layer chicken farm, do it in regions that are warm to hot. Warm to hot. And the best areas are the coastlines. Let's say towns with lower altitudes, it's more warmer. You know, these are conducive environments for the bird growth and even production and the egg count. It really determines the egg count. So it is very important that the location determines the profitability of your venture. The same applies to the indigenous birds. If you want to do an indigenous chicken farm, this is the only one that can thrive well in the rural setup. There's much space for it to roam around, for them to roam around. You don't so much bank on the number of eggs, and you bank on the meat. The market for indigenous chicken is quite segmented. There are those who would want birds that have been freely roaming, free range. They'll fetch much money compared to others who will just buy chicken that have been in an enclosed environment, or rather depleter. So for improved chickens or improved indigenous chicken, those ones you can rear them anywhere without putting much emphasis on profitability. Someone asked me about the cost of production. Compare the cost of production between a layer chicken and a broiler chicken. The cost of production in terms of structure and in terms of equipment and labor for a layer chicken farmer who is practicing layer chicken farming on deep litter is the same as the cost of production for equipment, structure, labor, opportunity cost for a broiler chicken farmer, because most of them is deep litter. It only becomes expensive or a little bit expensive for a farmer who is practicing battery cage farming. Well, battery cages are quite expensive, right from purchase, installation and maintenance, despite the fact that production or egg count for a cage system is higher than production for deep litter. So in the long run, we're comparing deep litter to mean broiler, because most of the broiler farming in Africa is done in deep litter. So in the long run, then if you compare cage layer chicken farming to broiler chicken farming, it is expensive in the early stages of a cage layer chicken farmer, but more profitable in the long run compared to a deep litter broiler chicken farmer. So when you want to choose between layer chicken farming, broiler chicken farming and indigenous chicken farming, it is very important that you consider where you're going to set up the venture. Now we talk of how. How you do it. There are very many ways of killing a rat. Despite so, you really have to use a lot of science to be sure in what you're doing. How do I make my layer chicken farming more profitable than the broiler chicken farming? If I control mortalities by using the correct feed and water as a layer chicken farmer, and my competitor also maintains mortalities by using the correct water and correct feed, correct disease management, we are all making a profit. None of us is better than the other. So you can either venture into broiler or layers if you are able to do the right routine management practices. Okay? How again do I maneuver? Making a layer chicken feed from home is easier